Hey everyone, I'm Alan Abbasi, the Director of Product Development for Fender, and we're going to talk a little bit today about our 1965 Strat. That's part of our American Vintage 2 series. In 1965, there was a lot going on in the country. Dylan went electric, the civil rights movement was going on, the Vietnam War, of course, and the rise of television. Fender being bought by CBS at this time was the very beginning of a seismic shift for Fender. So as the story goes, on January 5th, 1965, after a year of secret negotiations, Leo Fender and Don Randall sold Fender to CBS, marking a watershed moment in the company's history. It was during this transition, when guitars and basses often combined pre-CBS parts with early CBS era changes, that gave rise to the legendary 1965 Stratocaster. So one of the cool things about the 1965 Strat is that it has all these unique features that were about to change in the coming CBS era. Leo Fender was still consulting for the company, and there were still a lot of guitars built the old Fender way. There was a lot of inventory of necks and bodies that were still true made by Fender parts. A defining feature of the 65 Strat is Leo's original small headstock paired with a new large gold logo known as the transition logo. You don't see a lot of vintage 60s Strats with small headstocks and that gold transition logo because CBS changed the Strat headstock shape to a much larger one at the very end of 65 going into 66. So small headstock with transition logo was only around for a very short time. This transition era Strat featured several other key features that were changes from Fender's earlier models: a switch from clay to purloined dots, a white 3-layer vinyl pickguard replaced the somewhat greenish celluloid guard, and gray bottom pickups are now in place of the traditional black bobbin pickups. So all these details are faithfully recreated on the American Vintage 2 1965 Stratocaster. The gold transition logo, pearl dots, the pure vintage 1965 pickups. It was back in 2012 when Mike Lewis, our late great VP of the custom shop, identified several highly rare 65 Strats that we used to accurately recreate this model. He ensured every detail was correct, from the fingerboards being round lamb to vintage 7¼ inch radius. The neck back shape is very era correct, and the pickups are voiced just like the original 65s. Some of the machines used to stamp the hardware are the original machines from Leo's era as well. So short of buying a vintage model, this is as close as you can get to an original 1965 Strat.